Oh, I was muted. Killed it. All right, we're going to cut that for editing. All right, welcome to Rebel Ants Radio. This is our weekly video podcast, except when I have to move the date, where we share our progress of launching an NFT. So this is sort of our build in public process to help share our learning, share our successes, share our failures, and have something cool that Miguel and I can look back on when we're millionaires, thanks to the success of this project. And if you're into that sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we put out videos weekly, break up interviews that we've had with other artists and Web3 personalities. And we're here to just share what we've learned with our community and our audience. So thank you for joining us. And today is just going to be an open dialogue between Miguel and I, as if we were sitting together in a room planning what's coming next for our NFT project. Miguel, how are you?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
Good. I forgot to unmute the mics. That was really embarrassing. First time that's happened in 27 episodes.
I see you've also been very busy this week.
Yeah, I've been MIA. I'm sorry that we haven't had much time to talk. I know that you get separation anxiety when we don't spend enough time together.
I do.
Maybe this week will be better. Who can say?
I get jittery.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm always wondering, what's Miguel doing right now? Anyway, we invite you to head over to rebelants.io where you can mint your very own Rebel Ant for 0.01 ETH, which actually isn't that much money right now. So we appreciate your support. And while you're over there, check out the shop at rebelants.io /shop. And new shop is coming soon as we relaunch our website to include all of the other great projects and initiatives we've got going on. More to come on that. And at some point during this discussion, we are going to stop the conversation, drop a secret passcode for you to enter at rebelants.io /proof to show and prove that you've been watching the show. And the first 3 people to do so will win a free Rebel Ant airdrop to them, courtesy of Miguel's ETH bag. So Miguel, thanks for that.
You got it.
All right, Miguel, as always, we've got an icebreaker and you don't even know what it is. I didn't tell you what it is.
What's the icebreaker?
Well, the icebreaker is, before we start, we've got a couple of people watching us, so we invite you to follow along, comment with your answer to the icebreaker. But the icebreaker is, what is your spirit animal?
Really?
Don't say ant. I know it's not an ant.
What is your spirit animal? I'm going to say a dolphin.
A dolphin? You don't seem like a dolphin guy.
I love dolphins.
Yeah, has the dolphin always been your spirit animal?
Probably. I've always thought about it.
Well, my spirit animal is an owl. And this only happened a few years
ago. Why
do
I see it?
Now you see. Well, when you're in my house and you see owls everywhere, that explains it. A few years ago, maybe like 7-8 years ago, I had a dream that I was an owl and I was flying through the woods. And I woke up and I was like, whoa, the owl, that's my spirit animal. I never had a spirit animal before that, but it came to me in a dream and I said, that's it. That's my spirit animal. So
were you like sitting on a tree, just like looking at stuff?
No, I was flying through the woods. I still remember the dream very vividly. Yeah. It was life-changing. And I remember that morning I wake up and I just tell my wife, I said, I think the owl is my spirit animal. And ever since then, I just do a lot of owl stuff.
How many years ago was that?
I think about 7 years ago.
Wow, you still remember it?
I still remember it. It was that serious of a dream for me.
Interesting.
So let us know in the comments what's your spirit animal, and interested to hear your story. Whew, Miguel, what a week. I think you and I have been pretty busy working on our project, even if we haven't spoken much and we haven't put out much, but we're trying to stay active, trying to keep this process moving along. You and I both have full-time jobs, full-time families that we're trying to take care of and support, but this is a passion project. So whether we make $0 or $1 million, we're going to keep chugging along. $1 million is preferable. So what have you been up to?
So I've been working on V2 ants, obviously working on the backgrounds. Still, there's times where I'm like just drawing stuff in V2 and I see the ants and I just want to do something different. So I've been changing some of the stuff around, like the kimonos and stuff like that, the swords.
Nice.
It's a long journey. I think I'm my own worst critic because I go in and it looks great and then I'm like, no, I got to start over again and change something else. But I mean, for the most part, I think we're 85% there, right? It's just we got to finish the backgrounds and then do the color. I just haven't picked a color palette yet. I don't know what I'm going to go with the color palette. I don't know if I want to go super bright or if we want to go more like mellow colors. I don't know yet. We
Yeah.
talk about it and see what's the best choice.
Yeah. We got a comment here from Always Blessed. Thanks for joining us. A cat is your spirit animal. I like to be active, but still lazy. All right. I respect that. I respect that. So the theme of V2 is, tell me again, like samurai?
Yeah, they're warrior ants.
Right.
So they're
And they're
more like
battling for the
samurais.
colony.
They're
Yeah.
battling for the colony. Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually look pretty cool. I posted a few things here and there, but they're more like warrior looking, face front looking ants. More than V1s. V1s you can see the whole ant. V2 is more of like more details, more colors, like more definition of the ant. They have swords, they have weapons and stuff like that. So masks. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Good. And so the idea for those watching and following along is that these ants will be associated with a gang or a group of some sorts, and then those gangs will do battle each week using the power of AI storytelling, where we will put in a prompt of the different gangs that are battling, and then it'll shoot out a winner, whatever the winning gang is, and then we'll be able to reward the holders of that trait essentially with something. And that something is something we're still working on. But back to the design of the V2 ants, I think we're just tentatively calling it Battle for the Colony. We're still working on whatever that is, right, to differentiate it from V1. When you talk about bright colors, it reminds me of the Jermies. The Jermies has a lot of bright colors, right?
Yeah. Well, the Jermies is supposed to be it's a germ, so it's super bright, kind of in your face.
Yeah.
Little funny creatures. So I wanted to keep it so that it grabs people's attention.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how you differentiate the Rebel Ants V1 to the Jermies to the V2 and kind of create its own atmosphere. We got a comment here from Latin Knight saying, a sloth, I can sleep all day. We got some lazy listeners is what I'm learning. Lazy listeners.
So with the Jermies, I think that the color palettes that I used for the Jeremy were more like neon brights, right? But I do have some pastels in there too. For the V2 ants, I feel like maybe we should go like pastel-y, kind of like old school colors. I don't know yet.
Like retro kind of pastels?
Like a retro pastel, yeah.
Yeah, I dig that. When am I going to get to see anything?
You've seen some of the ants already.
I've seen sketches.
Some of the V2.
I've seen sketches.
Maybe if you're around, I can show you some.
No, that's not how the internet works. You just send it, and I get to look at it when I'm ready for it.
But yeah, so I've been working on that. I'm also working on a way to record the drawings. So I went and I bought a GoPro 11, which I connected to the mic, as you guys can see here.
Oh, nice.
All right, so I'm gonna start doing like an overhead video shot, and then I'm gonna edit it and shoot it out, so it's easier to kind of follow along if you want to learn to draw and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that that sort of reminds me of the artist we had on the show, Ryan. Yeah, he does a lot of videos of just him drawing, and then he also does videos of him teaching. So I think that's definitely an opportunity for us to kind of share that experience, your journey through launching V2s.
Yeah, plus we still have a lot of Jermies to draw. I mean, it's 500 of them. I think we're like at 40 or something like that.
Yeah. So now the process, the integration with V2 and then the other projects is some sort of kicker, right? So we're saying, hey, we're going to reward you if you hold the gang or the traits of the winning battle, right? The winner of the battle, and then you'll get rewarded. And if you hold a V1, any V1 really, right? You'll be multiplied in your reward if it's tokens. And if you hold a Jeremy, it'll be multiplied as well. And I think we've had some dialogue about how to use those Jermies, right? So I think the most recent idea was if we release one Jeremy a week, let's say we release the Jeremy on the air, we put it up for minting as an open edition, and then we close it out by the next recording. If you hold that one, then you get a multiplier as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to create some scarcity to it. I know we've talked about like what is the frequency of releasing them. So Where are you leaning towards now in terms of how to release or how to use the jerseys?
I still think that I want to release them every 2 weeks, right? A few of them, although we're still going to make the exception with like some certain ones that are going to be like special jerseys, which
Like a holiday one or something
like a
more.
holiday one, yeah, or something like that. Since it's going to be released every 2 weeks, we'll end up somewhere down the line in a holiday or something like that, and then I can create something that'll be pretty cool with the jerseys. But I also still want to do like some more V1s that pertain more like a one-on-ones that kind of like go with like the flags of like a country or like something along those lines with the eyes and the colors.
Yeah.
So still working on that, but that's more like down the line.
Yeah. I'm going to do some quick math here and say if we release a jersey every 2 weeks and there's 500 of them, that's like 1,000 weeks.
Yeah.
And so that's like 19 years.
No, it's not.
Give or take 1,000 weeks.
Well, we don't have to release one every 2 weeks. It's going to be a good like 5 or 10 of them every 2 weeks.
Oh, I see. We'll release them in batches.
Yeah, no, in batches. Yeah, not one. The thing is that we need to figure out whether we want to make them open edition or not. So, and for how long? That's the other question.
Yeah, that is a good question. I wonder. We haven't played around with the Bueno drops yet, but I think that's the platform to do it. And I just wonder, how much flexibility you have in using that to say, hey, for this drop, we're going to do it this way, and this drop, we're going to do it this way, right? We could do an open edition, we could do a limited edition, we could do free, we could do not free. There's some variety that I can think of offhand. Just I guess we can kind of make it up as we go along. I just want to give clarity or transparency to the process so people know, hey, I need to collect every one of them, or I don't need to, right? If I miss a week, it's okay. Or ideally we want them to mint out, right? It would be interesting if we minted, let's say we did an open edition and there was only 50 minted, and then that becomes like a more rare one, right? Because that's it. There'll only ever be those 50, but maybe it's worth collecting, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the multiplier or the demand for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think too that also intertwining that with the coin that we're trying to create will bring value to the actual artwork. Not only the artwork, but it'll bring value to the coin.
Yeah, right. That's scarcity. So I know we've talked about a burning mechanism with the coin. So tell me where your head is at with that.
I don't know yet if I want to do the burning mechanism, but I want to be able to have that option in case we do need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what I was thinking about too is that the V1 ants, Buenos at some point is going to release a burn mechanism for their artwork, but it's going to be for their new tokens. But although when we went to NFT NYC, they were talking about, when I asked the question to Pablo, he mentioned that he wanted to do something for the old artwork that's already in there. But the problem is that it's a little bit more complicated because the artwork is already out on the blockchain. So it's a little different.
Yeah, and it might be a different type of token, right, than a burnable token.
It's a different technology to burn it.
Yeah. And so just to share the token process that we were looking at, I'm going to drop this on the screen here. We were looking at this website, which is vitominacori.github.io/ERC20 generator. And if we scroll about halfway down, there's a pricing where it shows 10 different token types. And I think the one we were looking at was this one, the burnable ERC. Is that right?
No, the last one.
The last one. Okay, let's go all the way down. Powerful.
Yeah. Because we have all the options there.
Yeah, it's interesting that this one, the powerful one, has a capped supply type, and the tier down has an unlimited supply type.
Yeah, well, we want it to be capped. Like, we don't want to continue to mint.
Right. We want to say, hey, there's 1 billion coins or 10 million or tokens rather, right?
Right.
Yeah, and theoretically that could be the reward if you are holding the winning trait.
Yeah, plus the powerful ERC20 is more role based, and the transfer type is also unstoppable. I mean, they're all unstoppable, but at least the access type is role based, so I'm able to create roles as I go, if need be.
Yeah, that's interesting. It'll be fun and difficult to figure out how to assign those winning tokens, right? Because we would need to figure out who's holding what, figure out what else is in their wallet if they've got a V1, a Jeremy, how many V2s, and then figure out how we can distribute those tokens. So in this case, if we were if we were to use this plan right here, the powerful, where do all those tokens exist for you to be able to send them out from?
In your wallet.
So there's a wallet created. It holds 1 billion coins, however many we say to put in there. And then we transfer them out.
Correct. Yeah.
And is there a gas fee for transferring those coins out, those tokens?
There probably is. I was also looking at the ones that say taxable. If you scroll back, there's some of them that are like taxable. Where is it? Mintable. Nope. Mintable. I wonder if they took them out. They probably don't have them anymore then. I don't see it.
Oh, the gas fees will be added to the final amount. Oh, that's probably just for creating.
No, that's for the creation, yeah.
Yeah. So here are some of the features. Let's see if the taxable. No, I don't see that here. So it'll be interesting. The role-based access, like you were saying, is your token will have roles. You can add or remove admin or minter role to address. So that means you and I could each have access separately.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. That way, that one person has access to the token.
What if you kick me out?
You still have access. You're an admin.
You won't remove my admin access?
No.
All right. So yeah, this is, we found this generator through our friend Eric Rhodes. So check out his interview from our past. I think maybe he was our second guest. Is that right? Talking about
second or third. Yeah.
Second or third, yeah. So he's got a token that's out, and we shot him a message in Discord and just said, "Hey, how did you do that?" And he said this, and this seems like a good solution for us, based on some of the other projects or platforms we were exploring. So it'll be interesting to kind of go through this process and share that experience along with our community here.
Yeah. So we're also doing the Twitter thing. So basically, we reached out to Twitter. Do you want to talk about it or no?
Yeah, tell me all about it.
So we reached out to Twitter, and we're basically doing some ad work, and they really want to like promote us. So we're still in the talks with them. I don't want to give too much information out yet, but I think it's going to be something really good for us. And we're still trying to finalize the website, and we're trying to finalize V2 so that we're able to put everything out at once. But I think it's going to be a good thing because I think it'll catapult us into where we want to be.
Yeah, the more eyes, the better. And if we can get a little bump, that'll be great. And
it's going to be more than a little bump.
A little bump. That's all we need.
It's going to get shown in like 50, 60 countries. They sent me the list. Yeah.
Are you going to have to translate Rebel Ants? What does Rebel Ants translate to in
I think they do it.
Espanol?
I think they take care of it.
And I want you to tell me, how do you translate Rebel Ants? Oh.
You tell me.
I don't know. You know, I don't speak Spanish. So for the website, I'm curious what your thoughts are. If there's one type of project that we want to promote over all the others, because if you look at the navigation bar at the top of a website, there's typically like a button, like a call to action. So it's like, mint here. But if we have 3 projects and we say mint here, which one do you think we want to push? I think V2 will probably be the ideal one to get people to buy in.
Definitely V2, and then we will have to explain why V1 and the Jeremys are important.
Yeah. Let me see if I can just show you real fast what I was working on here. I sent you some pictures, but I'll add this in. So pulling up our Figma here, and this was just a rough design of a V2 website. So the idea was we have a bunch of images, which are the NFTs, and they're kind of scattered all over the hero section, different rotations. And as you scroll, these all kind of fade away to reveal whatever text we have. So our logo of Rebel Ants, and then some brief information and maybe a link or two. And then as you scroll down, we'll have a showcase for each of the 3 projects, right? So we'll have Rebel Ants, we'll have Jeremys, and we'll have the Battle for the Colony, as we're calling V2. And then as you hover over each one, it'll expand to cover the whole section there and kind of break out some more images to kind of showcase the art, have a little blurb, and then a link, right? So the link, there might be 2 links. It might say learn more, and it'll take it to its own website where we can really break down some of the history or the detail of what that project is. And we'll have a button that says buy on OpenSea or Mint, wherever we're at with that, right?
Right.
So eventually I'd like to so each project has its own website. I don't think that's necessary for being ready for the Twitter launch, but I want to build this out as much as I can just to give the context. It's also good for like SEO rankings to just have more listings.
Yeah.
We've got Latin Knight who says, Hormigas Rebelde. I don't know how to say that. Miguel, help me out here. What is this?
Rebeldes.
Rebeldes? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think you made that up, Latin Knight.
That's how you say it in Spanish.
Yeah. So my thought so far with the website was keep all this white because, you know, these kind of have their own color scheme, but if you keep this white, it keeps a little more cohesive. And then when you expand, it'll break out to be whatever sort of the brand colors are of that project. So we know Rebel Ants is dark with black and the gold, but then if you were to hover over the Jermies, you'll get maybe a white background.
I like that. Yeah.
And it'll showcase, you know, 3 or 5 whatever cards, a little blurb, and then, you know, 1 or 2 links, depending on if it's coming soon or if you can already mint it or learn more with the little logo that you and I were working on up here. And then if you hover over the Battle for the Colony, I don't know why in my head it was red and gold were the colors when you first told me about it, but it would look something like this, right? So it's sort of Hulkamania, but sort of not.
Are you able to put a background to that? Like an actual picture or no?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. And we could do that for each of them, and maybe it's really faded out. So, you know, you just get the taste of it without doing that. And we could have the pictures behind the overlay of the color. So it's still on brand, but you get some more imagery behind it. And I thought what was funny was when you and I were talking about what sort of font do we want to use for Battle for the Colony, I sent you like 5 different fonts. And if we go over to my lettering page here.
And I think I ended up picking the same one.
Yeah, I sent you these 8 fonts. And I just kind of wrote out Battle for the Colony. I said, which one? And you said number 7, which is the Rebel Ants font already. So I don't even know if you knew that at the time of saying it.
No, I didn't.
No, but that's already the font you've chosen in the past. So you've got a style. You've got a type. But then I was thinking, you know, brands it a little differently because the Rebel Ants is just this gold color all the way across. But if we go Battle for the Colony, maybe we have like a gradient fill, just depending on the palette that you end up going with. We can kind of adjust this to match the brand there.
I like it. It's cool.
Yeah. So for the website, I'm working right now on some of the more complicated parts, the animation. So like the scrolling and the cards revealing. And then what I'm really excited to figure out is how to have it when you scroll, one of these cards will move down here and one of these cards will move down here and one of these cards will move down here. So it kind of bleeds into the next section. It kind of connects it all. And then we stick with this theme of just like cards scattered. So again, like it's stacked cards in each area. And then when you hover, it reveals. So that'll be part of our identity for this website is just the stacked cards. And that'll fall over into the About Us section where there's different, you know, pictures of you and me and Gina. And we'll see what that looks like. And then we'll go right into Rebel Ants Radio for that next section. And then I think we'll keep a section for the manifesto, which we agreed needs to be updated. So we can have a future conversation about that. Just kind of, you know, refreshing where we're at now and what our project is about. We'll keep the section on who we are, right? Introducing ourselves. We'll keep a section on One Tree Planted, which is our charity organization. For every minted ant, we donate $1, or every sold ant, we donate $1. We'll keep the FAQ, which will also encompass the roadmap and just kind of trimming down, say, hey, our roadmap is whatever we're working on now. It changes and evolves as we move through this project, as the space changes. And this is the most recent thing. If you want to learn more, check out Rebel Ants Radio each week and you'll hear what we're up to.
Yeah. You know what would be cool? If you scroll down where it says Rebel Ants Radio.
Yeah, there's nothing in there yet. I was just doing some placeholders. But tell me, what do you think?
What if you put the podcasting ants background there?
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. That is a very good idea. I was thinking sort of stacked cards like this with the Rebel Ants Radio as one of them, and then the podcasting app, the podcasting ants as another one. Yeah. So I think, that's a great idea to kind of showcase those. And I wonder if we can get a third one just to kind of make an arc or give some sort of texture to it. Yeah. But really, we could do just 2 of them where it's like one like this, and we just give them a little bit of a tilt, like a -4 degree and a +4 degree, and just have like those 2 just kind of showcase in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, the podcasting ants is kind of our logo.
Yeah, right. We use that for a lot of things. It's the back. Oh, it's not the background here. The background here is the graffiti. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. We can kind of showcase that for the ants there. And for those who are watching, not listening, that looks something like, oh boy, this is our Figma space for this. It is this image here of the ants podcasting. So we can take this as a card and move that in there for sure. Good. I like that idea. So I'm just trying to figure out the animations and the mechanics for each of those sections. Then I can just go back and plug in the content and it'll kind of come together pretty quickly after that. The first two sections that I'm working on are definitely the more complicated ones. So I'm just trying to iron that out. And then I'll be able to just drop in a lot of the same content that we have. And then for now, we've got, we're not going to have a separate page just yet for each of these projects, but we'll get there and eventually build that out. So
yeah. What does the store look like?
So the store is really, so my problem with the store is, we built out the store, but now it's really more in line with this brand, the Rebel Ants brand of the dark with the gold.
Yeah.
So we can pull that up right now, actually. Give me 1 second. Let's hop into Webflow. We'll go into our shop and we'll just view it. So if you go to...
I see. Okay.
Yeah, don't go to the website yet.
No.
But up here, if you're watching, if you're listening, we're looking at the shop, which is not live just yet, but it's close. So it's got all the items that we have available. So we've got stickers, candles, shirts, totes, all sorts of stuff. So we're working on just cleaning up the images a little bit so it looks a little more full like this. But you can search by filtering here. So this is defaulting to all items. Then you can click on clothing and it'll show just the clothing, headwear, which we don't have any hats yet, other stickers, totes, that sort of thing. So we'll get all that cleaned up. And then for all items, you can hover over an item. It'll say view product, and then it'll go to the page. And it'll have any additional items. So if you click on the other pictures, it would pop up like a light box of all the images. You can select the size and quantity right there. And then we've got some details here, variety of stickers for Rebel Ants Radio, some shipping content, context, and then returns process. And then at the bottom, it's always recommending 3 other items that are not the item we're looking at.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah, and then up here, you get a little breadcrumbs. Say again?
I see what you mean by the colors, yeah.
Yeah, this feels like V1 Rebel Ants, right? But if we're going to have a shop on a page that's more general, I might have to change this up. Maybe the fonts stay, but maybe this just needs to turn to a white page with black text, and maybe that'll just brighten it up a little bit, Yeah. And then the other thing I was thinking was redoing the navigation bar. I like this navigation bar a lot because it's floating, and I think floating is cool, and you can see things fall behind it. But it might make more sense to be stuck at the top, given this new layout where everything will just kind of duck behind it. But I'll play around with it. It just might need a new nav bar, which isn't the end of the world. And right now, our website is really just one page, and each of these links at the top go to a section. And now we're going to have a much more robust world of the Rebel Ants. So we'll have to change this up, right? We'll have to have a page for the shop, a page for the podcast, a page for the different collections, a page for the minting. So
yeah, I like it.
We'll keep building it out, but I think we're in a good spot. And hopefully by the end of the week, we have V1 of the V2.
Yeah. So go to our page now, the rebelants.io, our website. Yeah. So this is going to change drastically, which is good, which is what we want. Now, if you scroll, actually, no, if you leave it there, go back up. Sorry. Join us as we share our journey of launching an NFT from its inception, bringing education to those looking to join the Web3 space, inspiration from other projects, and crypto personalities, and transparency from our... Did you change this?
You and I worked on this via text message a few weeks ago.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah, and we also updated the button to say mint directly through Bueno, because
which is good,
minting directly on the website, and now when you click on this, it'll take you to the minting website, which is through Bueno. So I think it gives a little more trust and credibility because it's not just, what am I doing here?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely better. Now, go back. I think that what we need to change too is if you scroll down.
Yep.
What are
This whole
they? The
section is
Rebel
going to
Ants.
go away.
Yeah, that's all gonna go away.
Yeah, basically
Um,
this whole thing. I still like this animation of the hover, and then maybe I'll do something like that still for the About Us,
yeah,
but more with the cards versus circles.
yeah.
And then we've got the watch and listen.
Which I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to revitalize this a little bit, and again, just have some more. I don't know. We'll give it
More
a new
pop.
flair.
It's just really dark.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And then we've got
Like that. Yep.
basically just a carousel, a slider of just all the other videos that we've dropped in here, going back years,
Yeah.
19 years worth of videos. And then we
And
got
then
our manifesto,
manifesto.
which is longer than I think it needs to be, and maybe we can clean it up a bit to be more fitting to us.
Yeah. So if you go into OpenSea, I changed the wordings there. I don't know if you ever got to see what I did there.
I took what you did there and I moved it somewhere else. What is this? The shredders. That sounds cool. Let's go Rebel Ants.
There we are.
All right. So we're on OpenSea.io/collection/rebel-ants. And we're looking at the description here. So yeah, this is revitalized for this. And I think we can take this. I don't know if this is the manifesto necessarily, but I think we can use this for the hero section of the website for when you reveal the cards. When the cards go away, we can take portions of this. And what I was trying to think about with the website is what we've learned from some of the other bigger projects is that they don't use the word NFT right on the site, you know. Maybe in the FAQ, but they talk more about digital collectibles, and I want to try and integrate that terminology more into our site. So I'm going to call it collections versus NFT projects, right? So we will have 3 collections. We'll have the V1, the Jeremys, and the V2, and we'll just refer to them as collections instead of projects.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll take this and we'll throw it into the website. And then the other thing on the website is we'll have the tracking on the new website, we'll have the tracking for each of the battles for every week. So if you remember, yep, I sent you, let's go back to Figma because I sent you a version of what that might look like. So here is a version of what that page might look like where it's called Battle for the Colony. And then each week we'll have a list of the battles that we've had. So it'll just be a running list for every week that we've had a battle. And down here is what the story would be from, let's
ChatGPT.
Yeah, so ChatGPT will drop in the prompt and just say, hey, these gangs battled it out. Who won? And then we'll just copy and paste the story and who the winners are. And this will all kind of go into a graph or a chart and just kind of show the distribution because we'll have 20 gangs theoretically. It'll be interesting to see how the randomness really plays out over time.
Yeah, I actually think that you're able to incorporate ChatGPT into our website now.
I think you can. For purposes of what we're doing with putting in the prompt, I guess you could put it in there, but we're going to have to do it live anyway on the show, which is kind of the idea. And I want people to know that it is truly random. That way they can see the website we're on. You know, if I do it right into the website, you might not be able to see that it's coming from ChatGPT. It might be another platform. You don't know if there's any other, skewing of the results going on. I'd like to be able to just do it right on, OpenAI's site, and everyone can see that it's truly random because hopefully there's a lot of leveraging of the, maybe not leveraging. There's a lot riding on the outcome of that, right? We want people to be excited about the results, and we want people to know that it's truly a fair game.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm excited to kind of build out all this. I think I've done some versions of it throughout the site, but I just want to tie it all together now and kind of say, hey, here's our new V2 website.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Well, what's still outstanding for us to catch up on?
I think that's it. I mean, we can talk about Outlaws and some of the NFTs that we've been looking at in the past couple of episodes. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? You think Outlaws is a rug?
I think it is. I'm not going to lie. Let's pull up their Twitter and I will show you.
I don't know. They keep posting every day.
What are they posting, though? They're posting what a robot would post. But
yeah.
Before we get into that, and before I forget, Our secret code for this episode is Moon, because we are going to the moon, baby. So head over to rebelants.io/proof, drop in the code Moon. And if you're one of the first 3 to do so, you will get a free Rebel Ant airdrop to you. And we thank you for watching and joining us. So there it is, your secret code, Moon. All right, let's go pull up the outlaws on Twitter. What are those outlaws called? Those outlaws. Here we go. These
right there.
Right here. Oh,
Did they just post that?
45 minutes ago. Sunset rides and outlaw vibes. Hold the line and stay tuned, partners. Yeehaw.
So it seems like when you scroll through the pictures, it seems like they're still getting a lot of views. 717 views on that particular picture, but
the comments, I bet if we click into this, it'll be something about, yeah, but where are you guys at?
Who are you guys? So I reached out to them again. I don't know if you saw the tweet, and they still never responded. But I did have a few other people that responded to us saying, you know, they were mad because they thought that it was a rug pull.
Yeah, where was that discussion? You're right. That was an interesting one.
Yeah.
Well, you know, what's interesting right here is the comments on this last tweet. Someone said, been tuned since tuned, riding since the saloon. Where are we going, sir? And they wrote back, announcements will follow shortly, partner. So they might be working on something. I would just love to hear a little bit more. Give me a little bit taste of what are you doing, people?
I even said to them, like, hey, if you guys come on the show, it'll give you guys more credibility. You guys can, 10x more because people will actually know that the project is legitimate. And we got peep from them. Nothing.
I know. Here's another one 14 hours ago. Who's riding with us today? It's like every post is just this, one sentence thing that they probably got from ChatGPT. Open range can be tough, but with outlaws by your side, anything is possible. Great. It's like it doesn't feel like there's a human there. I want there to be. I'm rooting for the outlaws.
I know.
It doesn't feel like a human there. Ready to ride? Yeah, we got it, guy. Thank you.
But it's every day. Every day they post a picture.
Every day, which is great. It's good to post something every day, but they're not giving us anything.
No, they're not.
There wasn't really a roadmap at the beginning, so maybe we shouldn't have such high expectations, but I want to believe. I want to believe.
The other project that seems to be rugging now or just going down spiral, it's Nakamigos.
Yeah, that one has really, really dropped. Let's check out OpenSea for that. 0.17, and it was almost at 1 ETH a little while back. So if we look at the floor price, this is too zoomed in. Let's go back 30 days even.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, so 0.43, even 0.38 down to 0.18, dropped all the way down to whatever this thing is here.
Hey, go 60 days. Are you able to go 60 days?
No, we can go the first sale date. So
there you go. There you go.
Look at that. So really peaked, really boomed. Whatever happened here. And then just kind of flatlined out.
And then just flatline. Yeah, I mean, Nakamigos is another one that you just don't know what's going on. Nobody knows if it's a rug, if it's not a rug. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's a rug?
I don't think it's a rug, but I think there's nothing more to this. I think this art is what you get, and that's it. Let's go to the website again. I think we visited the website in a past experience. So it's backed by a pretty big group. I think if we get down HiFo Labs, right? But this is it. I think this is it. You get this image.
That's it?
That's it. You get the image. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rug.
It might be.
That's sure a rug. I'm glad I didn't get one of those, but I did get the Outlaws. I did go crazy with Outlaws.
Yeah, I got a few too many Outlaws. I don't even regret buying them because I like the art.
No, yeah, me too.
Good to have in my rotation of NFT backgrounds on my phone, but it would just be nice if it wasn't a rug, because you know me, always getting rugged.
Yeah, they posted something with like the Indians or like something like that. I don't remember when, but they did do something like that.
Who's the artist? Let's go look and see if he's posted anything. Cassidy Outlaw. No, last post
No,
was the
yeah, that was the last post.
25th, so about a month ago. Well, not a month ago,
Yeah.
20 days ago. Nothing.
It's sad because they actually sold out.
I know. That's what's so interesting is, clearly there was momentum. They just didn't do anything with it.
I know. And here we are trying to get momentum and we can't.
I know. That's okay. Our time will come.
But we're in it for the long haul.
We are in it for the long haul. And one exciting thing I'm looking forward to is the Amazon NFT marketplace, which was supposed to launch today, but it's been delayed. So it'll be interesting to kind of follow along and see how that integrates. Again, see what their wording is, what their pitch is, what are they calling it, digital collectibles or whatever that is.
Did you see why it was pushed back?
I didn't see why, only just that it was. But we'll follow along because I think it's really interesting to think one of the biggest online vendors in the world is dipping their toe into this, and we get to follow along, and maybe there's things we can learn from it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we've covered everything that we're doing in our project. I think next week we got to see if we can get a guest on. I don't know if the hamster guy still wants to come in and do something, but I do have some people that I'm going to give you their names to reach out to.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we didn't even talk about what happened this week, that the hamsters had agreed, the Hungry Hamster Club had agreed to come on the show. We picked a date, we picked a pre-call time, and they just no-showed left and right. So a little disappointing. I know things happen, but just would have been nice to hear from them or reschedule or something like that. But we're happy to have them on. We're happy to talk to anyone in the space, kind of hear their story, showcase their artwork, their project.
Yeah.
But it also helps us to be able to plan these things out. Don't tell them.
But we had a lot going on.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We were cutting it tight, and plus I had to move the date anyway. So otherwise, I would have made you do this all by yourself with them. All right. So thank you for following and watching and listening. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with a friend, and head over to rebelants.io and mint your own Rebel Ants. We will be back Sunday-ish, hopefully, with hopefully a guest. But we appreciate you staying with us through this episode, and you can listen to the podcast on your favorite platform, whether it's iTunes or Spotify or Shopify. I'm kidding, not Shopify. Google Podcasts, whatever it is, we're there. So thank you for joining, and we will talk to you next week. Miguel, have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.